Alright guys, so I've gotten the top 3 most underrated vehicles in Roblox Jailbreak, and chances are you guys completely forgot about these vehicles even existing in the game at all. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into this. Coming in first place here, we have the Macron, and most of you guys probably completely forgot about this vehicle just due to the lack of attention it gets in Jailbreak and even Jailbreak trading. Most people look at the Macron as a slower seasonal vehicle, but it's really not because it's incredibly fast, and if you put a level 5 engine and use some rocket fuel, you guys can see it could still reach 250 miles per hour extremely easily, just like the other Bugattis. It is a little bit slower, but it does have some better acceleration, so that does make up for it, but people still just hate it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it's still a really good vehicle. It looks absolutely amazing, and it probably has the best interior in the game. I believe this was also the first vehicle in the game to have an animated spoiler, so this is a really special and unique vehicle, and I'm just not really sure why so many people hate it and just never use it. If I were to rate this vehicle, it would probably end up being a 9.6 out of 10. Like, obviously it could be better, but you know, for a seasonal vehicle that is free at level 10 and anyone could get this, it's really good, and it was also extremely easy to obtain. Season 10 was probably one of the most easiest seasons in Jailbreak history besides Season 6, because obviously Season 6 was incredibly easy. All you had to do, arrest 3 people, rob a few stores, and you finished your contracts for the day. But these contracts were extremely easy, and honestly, this has to be one of the best seasons I've ever done. The rewards were amazing, and I'm not sure why people hate this car just because it's slower than all the other Bugattis. Honestly, I hope this video boosts the value of the Macron a little bit, because right now it's incredibly underrated and it deserves much more love than it has right now. So yeah, let's hope this thing gets a little bit more attention after this video. And yeah, on to the next vehicle. Coming in second place here, we have the Snake vehicle. The Snake came out in the July update earlier this year, and it was available for about a week, I believe, and it's a really good vehicle just like the Macron. It costed about 600k, so it wasn't too cheap and not too expensive, but it's a really good vehicle for its price. It's incredibly fast. I believe it has a top speed of around 220 miles per hour. I could be wrong though, but I believe it's around there, and the turn speed on this thing is absolutely amazing. So to show you guys how fast this thing can turn, I'm gonna bring it right here, and we're gonna compare it to the Javelin here and see which one turns faster. Alright, so here's the Javelin. Let's turn, and it kind of goes off the road and into the other lane, so it's not really good at turning. But if we bring in the Snake, and then if we put this thing where the Javelin started, which I believe is right about here, and then we turn with it, as you guys can see, it doesn't go off the road and it stays pretty close to this side of the road. Obviously, we did go out of the correct lane a little bit, but it is Jailbreak, so you don't really follow the rules of the road. But it's still cool how fast this thing can turn, and it's really helpful for getting away from police really quickly, because it's just really helpful for going around corners like this one right here. If you're going super fast, just quickly turn right here, you're already on the other road. But on another vehicle like the Chiron or the Roadster that a lot of cops use, those vehicles aren't able to turn that fast, making it so that they either crash into the Camaro there or they crash into the terrain nearby. So the turn speed on this thing is absolutely amazing, but there are a few other things about the Snake that make it really cool and unique from other vehicles. For example, if I go forwards and then stop really quickly, you guys will see that the spoiler actually tilts a little bit, just like the Macron. That means so far we have a good top speed, good acceleration, absolutely amazing turn speed, and an animated spoiler. I don't even think I mentioned this yet either, but the Snake has an amazing model, and don't even get me started on the interior, because this thing looks absolutely just really cool. Honestly, probably one of the best interiors besides the Macron. But even with all of those cool perks and abilities, people still look at this vehicle like a trash, overrated vehicle. But in reality, that's just in trading. But in the actual game, this is a really good and valuable vehicle. So the Snake is in the exact same position as the Macron. People are making it look like it's bad because of the value in trading. But in reality, they're absolutely amazing vehicles. But not a lot of people know that because no one wants it in trading. And just like the Macron, this thing is really underrated, and it deserves much more attention than it has right now. Finally, in third place though, we have the McLaren, also known as the Megalodon. The McLaren was added in the December 2017 winter update, and then it was retired in the July update in 2020 when they had the first 5 days of vehicles event. The vehicle costed 300k while it was on sale, and honestly, it was a pretty bad vehicle for its price. It spawned right here on the map at the bottom of the city, and it was absolutely horrible at the time. And chances are most of you guys probably still look at the McLaren like a horrible and trash vehicle, but that information is outdated now, and that is no longer true. It definitely used to be, but that is not true anymore. The McLaren is now one of the best vehicles in the game. The top speed of this vehicle is now 200 miles per hour, which is obviously much faster than it used to be. Unfortunately, it's not faster than the Ferrari, but it's still much better than it was before it got buffed. But even with that speed increase, the McLaren is still worth absolutely nothing in trading, and people still look at it like an absolutely trash vehicle. I think the McLaren is kind of in a different situation from the Macron and the Snake, because the Snake and the Macron were just underrated because they just weren't given good values in trading. But with the McLaren, I just don't think the buff was given enough attention so that the entire jailbreak community would notice and then give it better value in trading. So basically what I'm saying is, because of Asimo and Bad CC not saying anything about the buff, that caused nothing to happen to the McLaren's value in trading. It just caused it to maybe rise a little bit, but it didn't really change much at all, which is kind of disappointing because this vehicle is really good now and nothing happened. It stayed the exact same and no one really noticed the buff. Obviously, a few videos were made about it, but that didn't really change anything, and not a lot of people really seemed to care to tell anyone else at the time, which is kind of weird because you'd think that after a vehicle that was known for being so slow got a buff, it would go around the jailbreak community like crazy, but it didn't. And I think that's just because of the amount of times that the McLaren was buffed, and it was buffed super badly, so that just no one cared anymore. So for those who don't understand what I'm trying to say right now, basically the amount of bad speed increases that the McLaren got completely ruined the amount of attention that the good buff got, because everyone thought it was just a small buff, so literally no one cared. So that's what happens when you have a vehicle that starts out incredibly bad and you buff it a million times until literally no one cares. You end up with a cool looking vehicle that no one cares about, and everyone just looks at it like it's extremely bad and it's extremely slow. Anyway, that's pretty much the top 3 most underrated vehicles in Roblox Jailbreak. If you have a different list or opinion that you want to share, make sure to tell me down below in the comments. I will be reading them. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.